Hello everybody and welcome to Learn Penang Hokkien. In today's lesson, we are going to learn pronouns. We are going to start with the singular pronoun. And the very basic one, the very first one we will learn is I and you. Okay? I and you. I in Penang Hokkien is wa. Wa, spelled W-A-H, for. You can also say gua, gua, as in G-U-A, for. So in Penang, when you speak to people and you listen to them, sometimes you will hear wa and sometimes you will hear gua. You, on the other hand, is lu, lu. Not li as in other Hokkien dialects, but lu, and is spelled L-U for. When you use wa and gua, it can mean I, but it can also mean me. And for my, we will learn later, which is wae or guae. But for now, let's put aside my. Just focus on I and me, and I and me is wa or gua. As for you, you is lu. Now let's put them into sentences. For example, wa but lu. It means I know you. I am acquainted to you. Wa but lu. Lu but wa. You know me. You are familiar with me. You are acquainted to me. Wa but lu, lu but wa. I know you and you know me. How about if you are a stranger to me? Then wa but lu. Wa but lu. I do not know you. And you also do not know me. Lu but wa. Lu but wa. You do not know me. So you use MM33 to negate a statement. It is just one of small words which we call particles, which we insert into sentences to make it into a negative sentence. So wa but lu, I do not know you. Lu but wa, you do not know me. Now, the next verb that we are going to use with wa and lu is kio. Kio, kio is to call. Wa kio lu, I call you. Wa kio lu, I call you. And you call me back. Lu kio wa. Lu kio wa. And as you can see here, in Penang Hokkien, there is no conjugation or inflection. I will always be I, whether it's in front as the subject or at the back as the object. It will still remain as wa. You also remains the same. Lu as the subject and as object it is still lu. So in a sense, it's very easy to learn. Wa kio lu. Lu kio wa. Wa but lu. Lu but wa. Wa but lu. Lu but wa. Now, wa kio lu, the negative of that is not wa kio lu, but rather wa bo kio lu. Wa bo kio lu means I do not call you. Wa bo kio lu, you do not call me, is lu bo kio wa. Lu bo kio wa. What if I say wa kio lu? It means I do not want to call you. Wa kio lu means I do not want to call you. Whereas wa bo kio lu means I don't call you. Wa bo kio lu, I don't call you. Lu bo kio wa, you don't call me. Wa kio lu, I do not want to call you. Lu kio wa, you do not want to call me. Another verb that you can learn now is suka. Suka means to like someone, to be fond of someone. Wa suka lu, I like you. Lu suka wa, you like me. Wa bo suka lu, I don't like you. Lu bo suka wa, you don't like me. So that's our little chapter now where we just learn wa and lu. Also, we learn wa can be used as gua. But most of the time, you will hear me using the word wa. So, wa means I and lu means you. So, I'll see you again in our next chapter where we continue to learn pronouns. Hello everybody, welcome to Learn Penang Hokkien. Today we continue our lesson on pronouns, and today we'll touch on he, she, and it. He, she, and it in Penang Hokkien. In English, we have he, she, and it, but in Penang Hokkien, all three are pronounced the same. They are pronounced as e. So, when you say e, it can be he, it can be she, and it can be it. However, in Taiji romanization, we split them into three different types. So, if it's masculine, if it's he, we write it as IE1. IE1 is he. She is written as EE1. EE1 is she, and it is I1. Okay, I1 is it. So with this, we can say but it depends on how we write. If we write it like this, but it means he knows her. He knows her. And if you write it like this, but it means she knows him. Yes, in the spoken form, we have to understand from context whether it is he knows her or she knows him. But in the written form, there is no mistaken whether it is he knows her or she knows him. In the written form, it is clearer because the gender is marked out. So he is EIE1, and then the feminine form is EE1, whereas the neuter or neutral form is I1. You use IE1 as the general form, and also when you are not sure whether it is he, she, or it. So you use IE1 for in general or for masculine for the male. You use EE1 when it's a female and specific to when you know that it's female. If you're not sure, then you use IE1. In the same way, you use I1 when you know that it's an it, is a neutral, it is an object. So you use I1 for animals, you use I1 for things such as the table, the chair, the house, and so on. So when you write but in written form, it's very clear whether it is she doesn't know him or he doesn't know her. U no ki ka. Okay, here we introduce a few more new words. U no ki ka. It means he has two legs. He has two legs. If you write this way, U no ki ka, then it becomes she has two legs. She has two legs. U si ki ka. U si ki ka, written in this form, means it has four legs. U si ki ka. Wa no ki ka. I have two legs. Lu no ki ka. You have two legs. Suka I. He likes her. Suka I. Bo suka I. She doesn't like him. She doesn't like him. Bo suka I. But if you change it, then yeah, you can also say bo suka I. He doesn't like her. Okay, so in this short chapter, we learn he, she, and it. And all you need to do is to remember IE1 is for masculine, EE1 is for feminine, and I1 is for neuter or neutral. Okay, and I'll see you in my next lesson. See ya. Hello everybody and welcome to Learn Penang Hokkien. We continue yet again our lesson on pronouns in Penang Hokkien, and in this lesson we learn the plural pronouns because we have already done the singular pronoun wa and lu and e and e. Okay, we have learned that, and now we continue to the plural pronoun. But before we start with the plural pronoun, let's learn this word lang. The word lang means people, and when you use plural pronouns, you often include the word lang in people, as in we people, you people, they people. It is used in Penang Hokkien very often. And we'll start with the first one. As you know, I is wa. We, on the other hand, is walang. It is the wa plus the lang, but you will notice that the 4 in wa has changed into number 1. It's no longer wa, but it is wa, as in walang. Okay, you say walang. Walang means we. Another way to say we is wang. W-A-N-G, one. Both walang and wang mean the same thing. It is the plural of we, all of us, but does not include you. Does not include you is walang and wang. It's talking about us, but does not include you. But in situation where you are included into the we, then we say lan. L-A-N for lan, as well as lan lang. Lan and lan lang is the all of us. All of us is lan and lan lang. So you can use something like this. Walang lai, we came. We come. Walang lai liao, we have arrived. So lai on its own is come. Lai liao means come already or arrived. Walang lai, walang lai liao. The next one is you. You is lulang. Lulang is you. So lan is all inclusive, we and you. Lan lang is also all of us, we and you. But if it's only you and plural, it is lulang. Lulang. And then now we go to the third party, which is they. So as in the singular, they can be expressed in 3 different forms, but they all sound the same, which is ilang. So you would write IE1 LANG2 to mean general they. It can be male plus female. So male and female, and in situation where you are not sure of the gender, you would use ilang IE1. If you are sure that it's all ladies, it's all female, then you use ilang where it is EE1. And for things and animals, is ilang, which is I1. I1 LANG2. So what is it like? Eggs in general. The eggs are all broken. Ilang pua liao. Ilang pua ka liao. So it is ilang I1 LANG. So some more examples. Wang mbat i. Wang mbat i. We do not know him. I mbat walang. I mbat walang. It could be he doesn't know us or she doesn't know us, depending on how it's written. In written form, it's very clear whether it's he or she. But in spoken form, it's dependent on the context. Ilang tan walang, they wait for us. Walang tan ilang, we wait for them. Ilang botan walang, they do not wait for us. Walang botan ilang, we do not wait for them. Lulang botan walang, you all do not wait for us. Walang botan lulang, we all do not wait for you. So that's our lesson here on the plural form of pronouns. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you again in the next lesson very, very soon. Hello and welcome back to Learn Penang Hokkien, and we are completing our section on pronouns. As you know, practice makes perfect, and so it's necessary for us to do some practice before we move on to the next chapter. But before we do any practice, let's recap what we have learned. Okay, in this chapter we learned pronouns, and the pronouns we have learned are wa and gua, which is I, lu is you, he, she, and it is I, and then we is walang or wang, and if it's inclusive of you, it's lan or lan lang. You is lulang, they is ilang, and then we also learn some verbs such as but. But means to know, to be acquainted with someone. And then we learn the word kyo. Kyo is to call. Kyo. And then suka. Suka is to like. To like someone, to like something. And then we learn the word lai. Lai is to come. And then we also learn tan. Tan is to wait. And we also learn in passing the word pua. Pua is broken. We also learn three particles. They are Here we learn used only with but, as in but, doesn't know someone, but. And then we learn the particle bo. However, in the sentences, we say it as bo, as in bo kyo, bo suka, bo lai, bo tan, bo pua. Okay, we learn as bo. However, the main word is actually bo, B-O-H-2. And we learn also the word ka. Ka is legs. And no ki ka is 2 legs. Si ki ka is 4 legs. So that's a quick recap of the words we have learned in this chapter. Now, let's do some exercises. In the first one, I'm going to say to you in Penang Hokkien, and I need you to play in your mind the meaning in English before we go through the meaning in English. Okay, we'll start with in Penang Hokkien. I will say it and try to understand the meaning of the sentences. The first sentence is wa suka I. Wa suka I. What's the meaning of that? And the answer is I like her. The second sentence is I bo tan wa. I bo tan wa. What's the meaning of that? And the meaning is she does not wait for me. She does not wait for me. The third sentence is ilang lai liao. Ilang lai liao. What does that mean? They have come or they have arrived. The fourth sentence is lulang bo kyo wa. Lulang bo kyo wa. So what does that mean? You do not call me. You do not call me. The next sentence is I pua liao. I pua liao. And the meaning is it's broken. The next one is Wang bo suka tan. Wang bo suka tan. And here I want to point out the word suka tan. It is two verbs together. The first verb is suka and the second verb is tan. However, when you put the two verbs together, the first verb change its final tone from suka to suka. So it's not suka tan but suka tan. Wang bo suka tan. What does that mean? We don't like to wait. Okay, the next sentence is Y tan y lai. Y tan y lai. Okay, and the answer is he waits for her to come. He waits for her to come. And the final sentence is Ilang mbat walang. Ilang mbat walang. And what does that mean? And the answer is they don't know us. They don't know us. So that completes the first part of our exercise where you listen to Penang Hokkien. Now in the second part, I'm going to give you sentences in English and you need to form the sentence back in Penang Hokkien. And the first sentence is we do not know him. We do not know him. How to say it in Penang Hokkien? And the answer is Walang mbat i. Walang mbat i. You can also say Wang mbat i or Lan mbat i, Lan lang mbat i. All are the same. The second sentence is he likes them. He likes them. How to say in Penang Hokkien? I suka ilang. I suka ilang. The third sentence is we don't know her. We don't know her. Now say it in Penang Hokkien. Walang mbat i or Wang mbat i or Lan mbat i or Lan lang mbat i. All are the same and all are correct. The next sentence is she does not wait for us to come. She does not wait for us to come. Quite a long sentence. She does not wait for us to come. How to say that in Penang Hokkien? I bo tan walang lai. I bo tan walang lai. She does not wait for us to come. The next sentence is shorter. It is, it has 4 legs. It has 4 legs. How to say that in Penang Hokkien? And the answer is, I u si ki ka. I u si ki ka. The next sentence is, he calls us to wait. He calls us to wait. How to say that in Penang Hokkien? I kieu walang tan. I kieu walang tan. Or I kieu wang tan. I kieu lan tan. I kieu lan lang tan. All are the same. Next is, she likes to come. She likes to come. How to say that in Penang Hokkien? And the answer is, I suka lai. I suka lai. And the final sentence is, they don't call us. They don't call us. And the answer is, ilang bo kieu walang. Ilang bo kieu walang. So that concludes our lesson on pronouns in Penang Hokkien. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and I look forward to you joining us again in our next lesson in Learn Penang Hokkien. One more thing. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to give it a like and share it. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that I can keep you notified every time I create a new video. At Learn Penang Hokkien, we want to spread the knowledge of this language all over the world to teach anybody who has the desire to learn our language. We will be so indebted and we are so humble if any of you out there in the whole vast world are keen to learn our language. And at Learn Penang Hokkien also, we have our own dictionary which you can use directly from the web. Just Google for Penang Hokkien Dictionary. Okay, just Google for Penang Hokkien Dictionary and you will definitely be able to find it. Our dictionary has over 5,000 words and it also includes audio, so you can listen to how each word is pronounced. So I will see you again now in our next lesson. See ya.